Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you for being here. All right, look at this gigantic gap up that the Qs did today. Now they've just darn near filled it, but definitely bulls want to keep the close above 632.10. They don't want to close back in the prior day's range. That would look like a failure. Hopefully people will buy the gap close, which a lot of people do. We'll see. It doesn't always happen, and we'll have a bullish day. All right, let's look at the SPY. See if it looks the same. And it also had a big gap up, but it has actually already closed its gap and it's trading in the prior day's range. So that could be a harbinger of things to come for the Qs or not. It's said oftentimes the Qs lead, but hey, Bon, let's look at silver. Well, that's nice. Let's look at K-Silv. Looks just like silver. No reason to pull up the. It's the same chart. Howard's got the system rigged. K-Silv actually looks better, really. Anyway, all right. It's because K-Silv had dividends turned on. So anyway, all right. It's not doing better. Silver's doing slightly better than K-Silv last time I checked, but not by very much. All right. So let's look at gold. Heck yes. Let's look at us some K gold. Not the K gold or K silver, the only instruments in town to get exposure to silver and gold. They're just the two that I have, and it's my show, so that's why we're going to look at them. But there's other ones out there that are really good as well. And they're all doing great also. I'm not trying to pick on something like a IAUI or something. They're all doing great. All right, so let's look at the divas. So we have blocks up half a point today. Like to see that. It closed on its highs yesterday. That's good to see. Let's look at ULTI from Rex. Alt I. That one is up a third of a point today. Good job, Rex. Good job, Matt Holcomb, who was the PM there. He was on the Christmas show. I need to get him on for a full show, I guess. Look at that, though. Why is it showing Alti down? Alti's not down. I mean, it's up on the chart. Is it because of going X? I mean, all right, we're going to have to go over that's why we have the spreadsheet to settle these, copy of diversified divas. Luckily, we have all that over here. That's why the show was a little late this morning. It's a pain to prepare this the day. I quit using AI. I'm done with AI. It's a pain. So I'm preparing stuff manually again. Well, it's a pain to prepare this manually when AI was just creating more work. It was just making it worse, actually, in some instances. Anyway, but all of these funds paid dividends today. So K-Yield, WPay, QLDY, LFGY, GPDY, and Chippy. So I had to look up all those dividends. But back to Alti. Why is it showing Alti down? We have the numbers here. Let's just look at the numbers. Alti's not down. It's above its yesterday's close. Alt Y. So I put them down for a 50-cent dividend today. Well, anyway, whatever. I mean, it was at 37.48 yesterday. It's at 37.05 right now. So it's down 43 cents, but it paid a 50-cent dividend. So it's up. It's not really down. It's up. The charts don't know what they're talking about. It's actually up 20 basis points on a daily return. Still down 15 since inception. So anyway, right now on the divas, we have Alti up about a fifth of a point, blocks up about half of a point, Alt I from Rex up about a third of a point, and K-Yield also up about a third of a point. So let's go to the daily percent change. It's kind of looks like kind of a muted reaction today. Of course, market's dead in front of the FOMC, right? Chippy's up though. All right, now let's look at the rolling total return. All right, we now have 3 above zero. Qs are now above zero with that big move up this morning. SPY is now above zero also. Chippy, come on, Chippy. Anyway, QLDY is only 1.3% underneath zero. It's the best performing of the divas or the understudies. Well, it's the second best performing of the divas or the understudies. Chippy's the best. QLDY is the second best. Third best is K-Yield, down about 4%. Fifth best is GPTY, down about 5.3. Then we have LFGY. Bond was just saying that he sold LFGY when it was up. Me too. I sold LFGY and GPTY pretty much when the market topped in October. Well, when it topped temporarily. Late October, early November. Alt-Y is down 15.3 blocks, and that includes that 50-cent dividend. And blocks is down 16.5. ULTI is down 23. All right. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, so let's check out all these ETFs. All right. YMAX. Let me hit this again. All right, there we go. It'll take just a second to load, and we'll see what other things are moving today other than the divas. The divas weren't that impressive today. Hey, good morning, William. Yeah, Tesla reports. A lot of people are reporting this week. Too bad Curve doesn't have options. Next day for those. What would you do if they had options? Would you write puts to get some Curve, or would you sell calls, or buy puts to protect the downside, or you do any number of things? Yeah, selling LFGY when it was up. I did too, and really I sold a lot of Alti when it was up too. When it was before it really cratered in November. So that, I mean, luckily, and a ton of GPTY and all my GDXY. So bad move on GDXY. Granted, bad move on GDXY. Oh well. Yeah, writing puts. Okay, I got you. All right, let's see what's going on here. Writing puts on something you want to own anyway is a powerful strategy. It's not perfect. I mean, have you ever done it? Have you ever written puts on something and it ran straight up and you made $1 when you could have made $6 if you would have just bought it? I mean, it's just like anything else. It's not, there's, no strategy is perfect. I mean, it depends on the market, but yeah, writing puts is pretty solid. On stocks you want to own anyway. SEPI is #1 today. Would you take a look at that? SEPI is spanking blocks. Now, it doesn't surprise me Bitcoin GD is, I mean, that thing's a monster. Really looking forward to the income stack first dividend. And I should have asked him when the first dividend was. Why didn't I ask him that? Or no one put it in the suggestions either. But anyway, speaking of suggestions, Matthew Tubble's going to be on Friday. There's already some great suggestions in Discord, and I appreciated each and every one of them. And I'm going to ask both questions. I know sometimes you guys put questions in there and I don't ask it. Nothing personal. I get, you know me, I get sidetracked or forget what I'm doing or start talking about options. But I usually try to answer them or incorporate them into mine. By the way, total's going to be on Friday at 2:30 Eastern. So 1:30 my time. Not that anyone cares about my time, but 2:30 you guys' time, right? Hey, David. Now you aren't a first time commenter, are you? Because I've seen your all right, guys. Sorry about that. All right. On a 1 day basis, Seppi is just murdering it. I mean, that's good to see. I don't have any because I don't need any because I have blocks. But if I became unenchanted with blocks, I would consider Seppi for sure. Um, BTGD, then we have RBLY, then we have AIYY killing it, up 2%. NV2 out of the NVIDIA surrogates. The Rex one is number one right now. Then we have GDXY. How's GDXY beating GDXW? That doesn't usually happen. It can on some days, though. But in any event, every dog has its day. It's GDXY's day to day. Look at GDXY catching all but 2/100ths, 2 basis points of the upside of the parent. I mean, we have Bobo even doing well today. TSYY. Of course, somebody mentioned Tesla's after hours today. So, and then we have the FOMC, at noon or 1. Soxy, Fiat, NVDW. I always like to look at the 1 week time frame too. The 1 day time frame is, sometimes I forget how well something's doing. Like Moderna, I think was number 1 on the 1 week time frame. Like Merny was. I mean, the other day, and I was like, well, it was on the 1 month time frame. Merny was that true, or did I hallucinate that? Am I like AI and I hallucinate stuff? Let's see. I could have sworn on the month time frame or on some time frame we looked at, Merny was number 1. Yes, look at that. Think about that. That's beating all the round hill. That's beating all the leverage stuff. That's beating all the Bitcoin stuff. I mean, beating all the gold stuff. I mean, it's amazing. Anyway, so on the month, the good ones are Merny, BTGD, AMDW. It's chips, gold, and Merny on the month, basically, right? Soxy, chips, gold. I'm silver too. And Bob, I guess China too. The China trade's on again too. Stocks, gold, China, and Moderna, of all things. Yeah, I'm not still frozen, am I? Anyway, Friday declaration day, payday on the 3rd, if I'm right. Okay, good. That's good to know, Bob. Thank you so much. I should have asked that darn question. Okay, so payday on the 3rd is the 3rd Monday. Well, whatever it is. I'm going to put it on the Divas this weekend. I mean, it's definitely a diva. It's going to be an understudy. It's an understudy. It's not really a diva status, but it's an understudy. It may beat all the divas, just like QLDY is spanking all the divas. It's going to be a math diva. You know, because the true divas, what I'm trying to measure is the manager skill also. You know what I'm saying? Because they switch stocks in and out, and they vary their options. They can do any option trade they want. So that's how the divas get to be a diva. But there's math divas too. QLDY is a math diva. QLDY is like, look, I got it. I don't need to have somebody's judgment. I'll just do lightning spreads on the whole index and beat all of you guys. So I mean, and I have a feeling the IS the stack products are they're math divas. If they, it's a math thing. I mean, it's also a trading thing. But anyway, Tuesday you think, okay, good. I can't wait. Yeah, so ISBG, I think it's going to be an understudy. It's going to be an understudy. And I'm totally redoing that. I said I quit AI because I used to have AI build all that stuff, and it was cool and working for a while, but it just quit working. So I'm going to go back to square one this weekend or after the 1st. Between now and the 1st, I try to get a lot of videos out because the pay period cuts off on the end of the month, and I'm trying to maximize income. But so anyway, but after the 1st, I'm going to rebuild the divas, and next month we're going to have it may even have a different name and different stuff. It'll be better. It's gonna be like the $6 million man. And we're gonna rebuild them better than before. It's gonna be like the Bionic Man or whatever. They're gonna have to rebuild the son of a gun. But it's gonna be fire. I think the new focus is especially on the divas. I just want something to. I think it'd be cool just to have a list of all the stocks that are in the divas, and I'm talking the funds that can change stocks in and out, because those are the stocks we may want to trade also. Anything that GRNI has, or anything the Blocks has, or anything that ULTI has, or ULTY, or or K yield. It could be. I remember when Blocks put in Cipher mining, or I was like, "What the heck is Cipher mining?" It's probably tripled since then. So I think I'm gonna on the divas. We're gonna focus more on the holdings and what they're doing, and I think it's gonna make better content for you guys. But then we're also going to look at the performance and stuff. But then the other studies were kind of in there to see, to give the divas something to shoot at. But you see what I mean? The understudies just aren't as interesting to study because they don't change stock. Even though QLDY is making more money than Howard is, right now you would have done better not getting in curve, not using active management, putting it in the math, putting in your faith in math. But there's lots of times when math fails you, and you also want, human judgment. So, no matter, we will want more than they declare. Yeah. Of course, some people don't. I think people are becoming more nuanced than that. But no, I get your point. But I think a lot of people are kind of happy with, some people have become, because they understand that the dividend is great, but it's a tax on the NAV. And so some people I think I've seen some investors kind of happy when the dividend's lower, like WPay will pay a lower dividend when the market's going down. But that's because they don't sell options. But anyway, some people that are WPay fans say, I'm actually okay with that because the market's going down. The fund's not making any money. So I don't want, to have too big of a dividend come out. So, but yeah, you're right, Bond. We'll want more. Whatever it is, we'll want more. But I really think there's two sweet spots. I think there's the 12 to 14 zone that we got TDAC and NeoSyn. And there's other ones. Big Y's murdering. I mean, in the 12 to 14 zone is a good sweet spot for getting yield and having a great possibility of performing pretty much the same as the market or real close. But there's another sweet spot that I think exists between like 28 and 40, and it's the sweet spot that I think Blocks is in, and QLDY is in, and K yield is in. And I think that there's a level up there. That's the next frontier up where there's funds up there with the proper strategy can still have some prospect for growth. Some, you know, but the ones that are more than that, you're pretty much foregoing growth. It's not like you won't get growth from some of those ones that pay 100 if their underlines are, go on a bull run for 6 months or something. You can get growth, but it's kind of exception, not the rule. Mago's doing 17%. Okay. So, and I really hadn't, but really sometimes, I mean, you could almost say the less is better. It depends. If you're a growth investor, you'd rather have Mago pay 17 than 47. I mean, it just, now if you're a growth investor, would you maybe rather have Mago pay 25 than 17 or something? You may be a little disappointed with it. But I think generally lower is better because it means you're going to have a lower tax. The idea of these, and I think what we're all trying to figure out, Marcus, or a lot of us are trying to figure out is, where's the happy medium? I mean, you can't just buy all the highest yielding ones. You get a high yield, but then you get poor NAV. But you don't want to just buy the lowest yielding ones either. You might as well just get SCHD and stuff like that. So I really think the two frontiers are the 12 to 15 range, that a lot of people live in, and then the 20 to 40. That's the elevated. We're going to give you elevated and still have a chance. QLDY is paying 40% and catching substantially the same upside as the Qs. I mean, I'm just paying 40%. I mean, that's impressive to me. All right, guys. Well, I'm out of stuff to ramble on about. Now, I've really got to get some new videos out. I'm getting killed on this. I mean, my viewership. I had another 2 cancellations yesterday. I mean, my channel is going terrible. The same thing happened last January and February and March, and I could not, no matter what I did, I could not get the channel going back down the right path. And I almost drove the channel into the ground, and I'm trying to keep that from happening this time. So anyway, I got to get busy and make some content. All right. I appreciate you guys. Hey, remember, here, hang on. I'm going to try to tell you to remember. Remember, not financial advice. Check anything you hear here or anywhere else on the internet with the licensed financial planner. Also, if you'd like to contribute to the station, I appreciate it. And you can always donate at paypal.me/Max Convexity. I got a very nice donation yesterday and a very nice donation the day before that, which is good because the station's not making any money. So I appreciate the donations. Anyway, I'm going to get the station back on track. I have some really good videos coming out between now and the 31st. So anyway, I hope you guys like them. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And let me see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, maybe Quantify back. Yeah, I'd love to have Quantify back on. Next time I might just have one of them. Either maybe just the option guy, maybe just Ed, and try to drill down on what I want to follow his trades and drill down on how he's doing it. Because that's a strategy I have no idea. That's a true. What he's doing, I have no idea. I understand lightning spreads. I understand a lot of things. But, dude, what that guy's doing is on another level. So, yes, they are going to come back on at some point in the future. All right, guys. Hey, well, thank you so much. And you guys have a great day.